In a realm of magic filled with secrets and enigmas, few are privy to the complete narrative surrounding one of the most illustrious figures in magical history, Albus Dumbledore. Renowned as the greatest wizard of his generation, Dumbledore's life is marked by remarkable achievements, profound wisdom, and an unwavering commitment to the greater good. Yet, beneath his illustrious exterior lies a complex and poignant history characterized by ambition, loss, and pivotal choices that irrevocably altered the course of his existence and the fate of the entire wizarding world. Albus Dumbledore was born into a distinguished wizarding family, the Dumbledores, in the late 19th century. His early life was steeped in promise, as he exhibited exceptional magical talent from a young age. However, the Dumbledore family was not immune to tragedy. His younger sister, Ariana, suffered a horrific incident when her magical abilities were inadvertently exposed to the non-magical community. This exposure resulted in a violent attack that left her both physically and emotionally scarred, rendering her unable to control her magical powers. The trauma of this event cast a long shadow over the family's future, forever altering the course of their lives. In the wake of this tragedy, Albus's father, Percival Dumbledore, was consumed by grief and rage. Seeking vengeance against those who had harmed Ariana, he pursued the attackers, leading to his imprisonment in Azkaban. This left their mother, Kendra, to bear the weight of the family alone, struggling to care for both Albus and his younger brother, Aberforth. Despite Kendra's best efforts to shield Ariana and keep her isolated from the outside world, the family's circumstances grew increasingly dire. Kendra's tragic death, resulting from an accident caused by Ariana's uncontrollable magic, further compounded their suffering. With Kendra gone, the burden of caring for his siblings fell squarely on Albus's shoulders, thrusting him into a role of responsibility at a young age. As Albus navigated the complexities of his family life, he found himself grappling with an internal struggle that would define much of his future. Torn between his personal ambitions and the overwhelming challenges of caring for his siblings, Albus faced a crossroads. It was during this tumultuous period that he met Gellert Grindelwald, a brilliant and charismatic young wizard who shared a vision of a new world order. Their friendship blossomed as they bonded over their shared ideals and ambitions, both aspiring to seize the legendary Deathly Hallows and achieve magical dominance over both the wizarding and non-magical realms. They believed that through their combined power, they could create a safer world for wizards and witches, free from the persecution of muggles. However, as their ambitions grew, so too did the moral complexities of their plans. The ideals they once cherished began to warp into a dangerous quest for supremacy, leading them down a dark path fraught with peril. Albus and Gellert's friendship, once rooted in mutual respect and admiration, became increasingly strained as their visions for the future diverged. Albus began to recognize the potential consequences of their actions, while Grindelwald became more consumed by his desire for power. The tension between them reached a boiling point in a tragic confrontation that would forever alter the course of their lives. During a heated argument, Albus and Grindelwald were joined by Aberforth, who sought to protect his brother and sister from the destructive path they were on. In the midst of this confrontation, a spell cast in anger led to the accidental death of Ariana, the very person Albus had dedicated himself to protecting. This devastating event shattered Albus's world, leaving him haunted by guilt and regret. The loss of his sister became a defining moment in his life, instilling in him a profound understanding of the fragility of life and the consequences of unchecked ambition. In the aftermath of this tragedy, Dumbledore distanced himself from Grindelwald, who would go on to become one of the most feared dark wizards in history. Albus dedicated himself to atoning for the mistakes of his past, vowing to protect the wizarding world from the very darkness he had once embraced. He became a prominent figure in the fight against dark magic, establishing himself as a beacon of hope and wisdom. His experiences shaped his philosophy, leading him to champion the importance of love, sacrifice, and the acceptance of one's own flaws. As he rose to prominence within the wizarding community, Dumbledore became the headmaster of Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry, where he nurtured the next generation of witches and wizards. His legacy, however, was forever intertwined with the tragic events of his past. The lessons he learned from his family's struggles and his own mistakes informed his leadership in the Vicom,